Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and game 1 in a best of 3 series between Team Liquid's Ret versus Millennium's Tarson. Here on Metalopolis we have Ret spawning as the blue Zerg over here at the 3 o'clock position. Meanwhile over here we have Tarson spawning as the red Terran versus Zerg on the BattleNet version of Metalopolis. Very important thing to note, as you can in fact have an ally spawn on this version of the map, meaning that after Red flies over with this Overlord, he is not going to know where his opponent has spawned. Now, a couple things to note and point out for you guys at this stage in the game. This game is game 1 in a best of 3 series taken from the BattleNet Invitational from the European servers. I believe this game was played over the weekend recently, and then I believe this upcoming weekend we will be having JP and Day 9 casting the North American BattleNet Invitational, and I believe that will be taking place in Irvine, California as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to casting some of those games or watching those games depending on when those games are released. They promise to be interesting. A lot of really well-known players. I believe Huck is in that group along with Select and a couple other really high-profile players. But then again, everyone is, I guess, really interested and waiting to see what the Korean server will show. We can now see a drone making its way down over here and will grow up to be a hatchery. A little bit of a risky maneuver just because he doesn't know exactly where his opponent has spawned yet. He knows that he has spawned on this side of the map at some point, but because he doesn't know where exactly his opponent is, it may actually be a close spawn, and then a lot of pressure could be laid down on this hatchery. We are going to get a barracks now up and running, training up a marine. Going to get a supply depot down in just a moment as well to finish off that wall in. As soon as that supply depot is down, most likely a factory will be built right behind it. A very safe strategy that a lot of Terran players are going. A Terran player could try to go for another barracks right behind this, but recently we've been seeing a lot more Helion harassment. As you can now see, the barracks lifting off over into this direction here. And will it be enough? There is a marine now down on the low ground, and will there be a factory up in time? The drone may try to get in position, and it looks like a factory will not be built. So perhaps a bunker will be built there later. As a factory now being built here, we may get a reactor add-on in just a little bit as well in order to put that double Helion pressure. So far, we have not seen an Overlord make its way from over here, so the players do... Oh, sorry, Tarson does know exactly where his opponent has spawned. After doing a little bit of quick scouting, they're going to take a look around the map and pretty much knows that the metabolic boost has not yet been started. No shimmering effect on that pool, as we can see a queen now being trained both at the natural expansion and the main base. It looks like Ret will be able to drone up or be able to power up pretty easily, as Tarson now responding with a command center of his own. And I believe this is the reactor factory Helion opening that I have spotted or I have seen used by a lot of the Korean players. So this is going to be a pretty popular strategy, as you are now going to see that a factory lay down, double train up some Helions, and then those Helions are going to try to deny creep. That's one of the important things, where the Helions move out, and they are very fast moving units, able to take down Zerglings rather quickly, as a marine is now up on that high ground as well. SCV trying to make its way back in, that supply depot lowering for him just in time. Now they should be raising up, as the Helion's going to quickly make a move and try to do a bit of scouting as well, quickly looking for any Zerglings. Doesn't spot them just quite yet. And now we will see those Helions make a move out across the field. The Zerglings do not have metabolic boost, as we are now going into that Infernal Pre-Igniter research. It has swapped back over and now training up another Helion as well. So this is the very common tactic that we've seen a lot of the Korean players use from MLG Anaheim. And now these two Helions going to perhaps get some damage onto that queen, and now just trying to look to see if they can deny any creep tumors and then deny that creep spread. You can see now the Helions coming around, back around the far side, not really dealing any true damage to the drones, not shutting any of them down. But they were in fact able to disrupt the mining just a little bit, which is very important. More Helions still being added to this group now, upgrading to an orbital command as well, so Tarson should be able to take his natural expansion, and there's not much a Zerg player can really do at this stage. The Spine Crawler is now repositioning itself in order to protect a little bit further, and are we going to get some creep tumors? Oh, there was a creep tumor down over here. No scanner sweeps revealed, as these Helions look across and try to figure out where exactly they can go. It looks like a Queen going to get in some quick slashes there, and now trying to take down that Mink statue, perhaps hoping to be able to catch some other creep tumors in line of sight. With that chain damage, but really nothing there, as Rhett now with 3 queens doing a really good job getting creep down. This is going to make it much more difficult for the Helions to do any true harassment, as the Helions are going to be spotted very, very quickly, and also those Zerglings are going to have faster movement speed, as now we see a transition into a Spire. We are at the 1-1-1 build, a medevac now coming into play. It looks like no siege tanks are being added at all. Marines are now being trained, as we may get that cover fire drop, which has been so popular. The Overlord in the center of the map will spot this, though. So transitioning straight into that cover fire drop, the Marines, the medevac making sure to not fly across the center portion of the map, as the Helions did reveal that there. And now what we're going to see is 8 Marines jump into that medevac and then perhaps try to jump up onto that high ground. Scanner sweep, shutting down all of those, down all these creep tumors now. A lot of damage is being dealt so far, as now the Helions are backing off once again. And there we go. There is that cover fire drop, but the Queens are going to be able to get some damage. This may be a bit of a problem here, as the Helions now being able to splash apart. The problem is that there is no creep right here, and the Helions will not be able to execute the drop as much as they want. Those Queens dealing a lot of damage to the medevac. And are we going to shut down this creep tumor? Not quite sure why. Yeah, there we go. Finally shutting that down there. And now we may perhaps get a run by with some of this, another creep tumor getting destroyed, as Tarson was not able to execute the drop that he really needed to do. We are getting that stim pack research now. Marines may be able to fight back over here. Now perhaps get some of those Overlords. Zerglings now trying to swarm in, and the Helion's going to get in a lot of damage, as the Marines are going to try to shut down these Mutalists. Is it going to be enough? It doesn't look like it. No stim on them at all, as another hatchery being placed down here. So Rhett in a very dominant position right now. It looks as though the Mutalists may try to come over and try to shut down these these Helions. That actually is not the case. And now Tarson is a bit behind, I would say. These Helions have not done the damage he was hoping for. He lost the medevac. He lost his unit. You can see the Helion holding his head in shame, realizing how bad this game is going for him. And now he's going to try to drive and return home. So yeah, there we go. There are those units there, as now we can see some Marines perhaps trying to get back into this game, trying to shoot down the rest of these Mutalists now. So the Mutalists still wandering around the map. And we'll see how much damage they will be able to do, as the one Marine getting a little bit gung-ho there. The Mutalist now looking to shut down with this one supply depot. Marines are making their way over. The Marines do have a better range, a range of 5 compared to a range of 3, so these Mutalists will be forced to back off. Mutalists also dealing less damage per second than a Marine, I believe, as the Marines have a very, very fast attack rate, and I believe level 1 weapons upgrade is now underway. Missile turret now being added as well, so it looks like we are going into the classic Marine medevac build, as Tarson getting a lot of reactors. Are we getting a Baneling's Nest? Baneling's Nest already up, and the movement speed upgrade now coming in. It looks like a missile turret will be able to shut down all those Mutalists. The missile turret in a position where it couldn't be repaired. Kind of a strange position, as usually a missile turret's placed over here in order to be able to get a nice surround and repair. Tarson once again building the missile turret. It doesn't have that much surface area, so that will be a bit of a problem if those SCVs do want to repair it. They are not going to be able to get within range all too easily. We are now getting into perhaps a critical mass of Mutalists, already up to 16. 4 more Mutalists being trained. Marines are ready and waiting for this attack. There is another missile turret here, so that will make it a little bit more difficult, as the Helions once again roll out. 82 drones versus 48 SCVs. I believe Rhett has just had a license to drone this entire matchup, and he's just going to be able to attack with a very large army unless Rhett overcommits into any serious battle here and loses all of these Mutalists. He is in a very dominant position, now taking up his 4th base. He will be able to transfer in drones from his main base over there rather quickly. You can see that the mineral patches are starting to get below that 500 mark, meaning that you should be taking in additional expansion. Now up to 22 Mutalists. That flock of Mutalists will be able to just swarm in and perhaps shut down SCVs and units left and right, even with the missile turret there. There you go. One missile turret now destroyed. A second missile turret destroyed as the Marines are trying to catch up, unable to do so. And the Mutalisk may be able to get down some of those Helions. Helions taking a lot of splash damage from those glaive worms as well, as we are now going to have Zerglings run in from along that far side. That may be a bit of a problem, baiting all of those units back. An Overlord now getting destroyed as Zerglings running rampant through the base. A lot of damage being dealt. SCVs now being forced to call back over. Mutalisk now just swarming inside the main base instead, taking down SCVs. Marines are now coming over, but they are coming over in a single file line. It looks like it is going to be a counter-attack by Tarson. Tarson does have 1-0 upgrade, so both sides are now just trying to trade armies and bases. And Mutalisk going after those SCVs. Not very many. Oh, there are, sorry, a decent number of Mutalisks left as they have now split. And as the Banelings coming across the center, let me go ahead and capture that once more. Banelings coming in and melting away all the Marines. A very bad Marine split. Just so many Marines dying there. Zerglings also taking down Helions with superior numbers. And Tarson now with a very, very small army. Not much he can really do. There is a Queen in that group. The Queen may be able to get off a transfuse. No transfuse, but Tarson says GG anyways. So game 1 in this best of 3 series going to Liquid Ret. And Tarson losing after not dealing the economic damage that he needed to with those early Helions. The cover fire strategy did not work. There was just enough creep where those Queens were able to get close enough in order to shoot down the medevac. And that really was the issue. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay. Stay tuned for game 2 in this series.